In football, there are legends, players who won trophies, broke records, and inspired millions around the world. But even among legends, one name stood above the rest: Lionel Messi. For more than 15 years, Messi dominated football. He won league titles, Champions Leagues, Ballon d'Or awards, and countless individual honors. Many fans believed he was the greatest player to ever play the game. Yet despite all his success, there was one trophy missing: the FIFA World Cup. For Argentina, the World Cup meant everything. It was the trophy that turned Diego Maradona into a national hero. And it was the dream Messi had chased his entire life. He came close in 2014. Argentina reached the World Cup final against Germany. The whole nation believed their moment had arrived, but it wasn't meant to be. Germany won the final. Messi walked past the World Cup trophy with heartbreak in his eyes. The image became one of the most painful moments of his career. Years passed. Criticism followed him everywhere. Some people said he could never be the greatest without winning football's biggest prize. Then came 2022. At 35 years old, Messi arrived in Qatar knowing this could be his final chance, his last World Cup, his last opportunity to complete football's greatest story. Argentina entered the tournament unbeaten in 36 matches. They were among the favorites to win it all. The fans believed, the players believed, and for the first time in years, everything seemed perfect. But football had one more challenge waiting for Messi. Argentina's journey began against Saudi Arabia. On paper, it looked like one of the easiest matches of the tournament. Nobody expected what would happen next. Messi scored early from the penalty spot. Argentina looked comfortable. Everything was going according to plan. But in the second half, the impossible happened. Saudi Arabia scored once, then again. In just a few minutes, Argentina's perfect start had turned into disaster. The final whistle blew. Argentina had lost. The football world was shocked. Pundits questioned the team. Critics doubted Messi. And suddenly, Argentina's World Cup dream was in danger. One more mistake could send them home. Their next match was against Mexico. The pressure was enormous. Millions of fans were watching. For Messi, this wasn't just another game, it was a fight to keep his dream alive. For more than 60 minutes, Mexico held firm. Argentina struggled to create chances. The tension inside the stadium was unbearable. Then, in the 64th minute, everything changed. Messi received the ball outside the box. He took a touch, looked up, and fired a low shot into the corner. The stadium exploded. Argentina was alive. Messi had delivered when his country needed him most. It wasn't just a goal, it was the moment that changed Argentina's entire tournament. Confidence returned, belief returned, and most importantly, hope returned. Argentina finished the group stage with a victory over Poland. The team was growing stronger with every match. The confidence that had disappeared after Saudi Arabia was now returning. Next came Australia in the round of 16. It wasn't Argentina's best performance, but when the team needed a hero, Messi stepped forward once again. On his 1,000th professional appearance, he scored. Argentina won the match and moved into the quarterfinals. Only 3 games stood between Messi and football immortality. Waiting for them was the Netherlands, a team known for its discipline, experience, and fighting spirit. Argentina started brilliantly. Messi delivered one of the greatest passes of the tournament. Nahuel Molina scored. Later, Messi added a penalty. Argentina led 2-0. The semifinals seemed certain, but football can be cruel. The Netherlands refused to give up. They scored once. Then, in the final moments of the match, they scored again. Suddenly, the score was 2-2. Argentina were stunned. Everything they had worked for was slipping away. Extra time came and went. Nothing separated the two teams. The match would be decided by penalties. The entire world was watching. One mistake could end Messi's dream forever, but Argentina stayed calm. Goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez became the hero. He saved crucial penalties. Argentina won the shootout. Messi's dream was still alive. Just 2 matches remained. Argentina's next challenge was Croatia, the team that had reached the World Cup final 4 years earlier. Many expected a difficult battle. Instead, Argentina produced one of their best performances of the tournament. Messi was unstoppable. He scored from the penalty spot. Then came a moment that would be remembered forever. On the right side of the pitch, Messi received the ball. Standing in front of him was one of the best defenders in the world, Josko Gvardiol. Messi accelerated, turned, changed direction, and left the defender behind. Moments later, Julian Alvarez scored. Argentina won 3-0. They were through to the World Cup final. One match remained, one final obstacle. France, the defending champions, led by Kylian Mbappe. The world watched as two generations prepared for battle, the experienced legend and the rising superstar. The final began perfectly for Argentina. Messi scored from the penalty spot. Angel Di Maria doubled the lead. Argentina were in complete control. After 80 minutes, the dream was only minutes away. Then everything changed. Mbappe scored. Just moments later, he scored again. In less than 2 minutes, France had come back from nowhere. The score was 2-2. Argentina were devastated. Extra time began, but Messi refused to give up. He scored again. The stadium erupted. Surely this was the winning goal. But once again, France responded. Mbappe completed his hat trick. The score was now 3-3. One of the greatest World Cup finals in history would be decided by penalties. The World Cup would now be decided by penalties. Millions watched in silence. Every kick carried the weight of history. Argentina stepped forward. One by one, they scored. Then came the decisive moment. Gonzalo Montiel placed the ball on the spot. He took a breath, ran forward, and scored. Argentina were world champions. At last, it was over. After years of heartbreak, after years of criticism, after years of coming so close, Lionel Messi had finally achieved the one thing that had always escaped him, the World Cup. As he lifted the trophy into the air, the football world celebrated. Teammates surrounded him, fans cried with joy, and an entire nation erupted in celebration. It was more than a victory. It was the ending of a story that had taken decades to write, a story filled with pressure, sacrifice, disappointment, and determination. For many fans, this was the moment that settled the greatest debate in football history. Messi had won everything. He had completed football, and on that unforgettable night in Qatar, Lionel Messi didn't just lift the World Cup, he became immortal. This wasn't just the end of a tournament, it was the completion of a legacy. The dream was no longer a dream. It had finally become reality. Many believe this victory was more than just a World Cup win. It was the perfect ending to one of the greatest careers in sports history. From a small boy in Rosario with a dream, to a football icon admired by millions around the world, Messi had finally reached the top. And even today, years after that unforgettable night in Qatar, fans still remember where they were when Argentina became world champions. Some moments in football are forgotten, but this one never will be. As the world now looks toward future tournaments and new stars, one thing remains certain. The story of Lionel Messi and the 2022 World Cup will be told for generations. Because on that night, football witnessed history, and history witnessed Lionel Messi.